Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. Today's video is another Dynamite on the road to quite a lot of events. We actually, over the course of the next 2 months in-game, are going to be building towards 3 shows. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're obviously heading off towards the Global Wars event, the AEW versus New Japan show. We've got the Tag Team Spectacular in a month's time at the end of the month, and of course at the end of May, Double or Nothing, our big show before we get to the next big show after that, All Out. So there'll be a few interesting videos on the way there. Just to clarify, in terms of the AEW versus New Japan show, how it's going to go down, we are only in good terms with them. We're not in an alliance, so we cannot bring in, and we have tried to negotiate it, but we will not be able to have Naito, Okada, Tanahashi, so quite a few missing out. But there's a lot of alumni that we've recruited as well from New Japan. We will feature the likes of obviously Nakamura, people that have obviously been there and are now with us. And although technically not with New Japan, we'll give a lot of our Japanese women an opportunity on the show as well to try and get them, many of them on the show. We'll be in the US for it rather than Japan. I don't want to tighten the rating too much in terms of overness, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I'm going to unveil any matches until the actual night itself, because I feel a lot of it's we'll see who matches up with who in the best kind of way. But I think one match that I will say should happen is going to be like a Leader of the Bullet Club tag match, and it's going to be Kenny Omega teaming up with Prince Devitt to take on Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I think that writes itself. But apart from that, as I say, over the next 4 weeks we'll be looking towards the Tag Team Spectacular, and of course, we may as well start the show as well. We'll have a Double or Nothing announcement straight off the bat. So straight in, here we go with Dynamite. Let's do it. So straight in, we have our usual pre-show matches in front of 14,618 at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. In an abysmal pre-show matchup, the team of Team Kick and Gianna Daddio defeated the Dark Order, Anna Jay, Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon in 7:39 when Gianna pinned Abaddon with a reverse roundhouse kick. At 53, not too bad here. I just feel like, as I say, we've got the Dark Order to a fairly decent level of overness, and it's getting the others up there. It's a pre-show match, so you are really not gaining too much overness, more so experience and hopefully some psychology skills. With AJ Styles taking on Matt Sydal, AJ winning in 10:34 with the calf crusher. AJ was off his game, just a disappointing 61 for AJ and a 57 overall. We had Shotzi Blackheart defeat Bea Priestley in 9:20 with the Fright Night. Just a 42 here, which is a wee bit disappointing, but still a good matchup from both women. We had a debut. Obviously, we're going to build them up slowly, but with the team of Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela defeat Alan Angels and Cody Vance in 6:41 when Joey Janela pinned Alan Angels with the moonsault foot stomp. A 37 here. I'm just going to keep them as Cody Vance and Alan Angels until they're fully ready for television, which could be a long while off. I just imported them into the mod, so slowly but surely they'll have them dark matches before we give them a proper storyline and character. And then our main event of the pre-show, the Jurassic Express defeat the Dark Order in 14:30 when Jungle Boy got the pinfall over Evil Uno. 65, solid. Spectacular, I'll take that. Now time for Dynamite. We start the show with Mick Foley in the ring. Him, Cody and Kenny give us a 96 rating. So Mick basically just explains what we're looking to have on Dynamite over the next couple of weeks. We are going to see that show in 2 weeks time, AEW versus New Japan Global Wars. We're obviously at the end of the month going to highlight our successful tag teams in here with the Tag Team Spectacular and replacing the Have a Nice Day pay-per-view. And then, of course, we have a matter of Double or Nothing at the end of May. This leads to Cody coming out, and he says basically, well, who do you plan on having us face at this New Japan? New Japan don't have anyone at man level, where Mick confirms Cody and AJ versus Kenny and Prince Devitt for obvious reasons. We also have Kenny come out and say how pissed he was, obviously being screwed out of the championship at Respect, and feels obviously like, is this really how this title reign is going to go with Cody? Mick Foley makes 2 announcements. 1. 8 weeks time at Double or Nothing, we will see the AEW World Championship on the line as Cody Rhodes will defend it against Kenny Omega in a steel cage match. No way that the New Age Horsemen can interfere. It's Rhodes versus Omega, Double or Nothing, 8 weeks time. I cannot wait for that inside the steel cage. Foley also confirms that Kenny will be in action in the main event tonight as he looks to get his revenge on Pete Dunne, which then our announcers put over in a 68 rated segment. Moving along, we had some action in the women's division with a decent matchup that saw Shayna Baszler defeat Nikki Storm in 8:59 with the Kimura. This was a 68, both ladies with a fantastic 67 performance. It leads to Shayna getting the mic, and she has a few words for Mercedes Varnado. She basically says she's coming to the end of her career, she's looking to retire very, very soon, but she wants one run as the AEW Women's Champion. She's going to do whatever she can to get that opportunity, and she's going to break Mercedes Varnado's arm, whether Mercedes likes it or not. So fret to watch from Shayna Baszler as she puts the champ on notice in a very strong promo. We then had an abysmal matchup that saw Wardlow defeat Griff Garrison in 5:48 with Splash Mountain, 61. Simple matchup to give Wardlow probably a well-needed victory. He's been putting a lot of people over, so I felt like it was just time for the big man to pick up the win. And after this, MJF cuts a promo on Chris Jericho, just saying this war is not over. It should have been the Uprising's big victory on Saturday night, but Chris Jericho had to take things into his own hand by bringing in Johnny Gargano. MJF says he will get his revenge on Chris Jericho and Jurassic Express and Johnny Gargano when the time is right. We then had some mixed tag team action, and about that terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. The team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Thunder Rosa defeated the team of The Blade and Ali in 6:41 when Thunder Rosa pinned Ali with a reverse DDT. A 62, Nakamura carrying the matchup. This wasn't really so much getting some more depth to the mixed tag division, of course your champs being Sir Brody Lee and Anna Jay. It's pretty much, I felt like, a good opportunity to get Thunder Rosa some exposure, get some overness, and Ali was more happy to put her over here, and Ali's obviously going to go to WWE because I was not wanting to secure her to a written long-term contract, so it seems like we stole all the younger ones from WWE and they've just stole our ageing female wrestlers, so it is what it is, but that's fair enough. We'll build a division, they can have the older women there. I mean, even though it's like 35 isn't even that old, but you know, I'd rather build younger in our division, and Ali will go there. So it means, obviously, it's a shame to lose one of our first women's tag team champions, and obviously the Blade loses his partner. But, yeah, do the right thing. Put people over on the way out and let us build a star in Thunder Rosa. Speaking of stars, here is Johnny Gargano and his Dynamite in-ring debut. He took on Kip Sabian and he wins in 9:13 with the Hearts Donut. A 65, it's just a simple victory for Gargano to get a dub on Dynamite. Then cuts a few words just saying how he felt like his heart and soul had been ripped out of him with his previous employers, but this is time to get back into the love of wrestling and have some epic matches week by week. So a 60 promo for Gargano as he's now in All Elite Wrestling. Moving along, we had an abysmal matchup that saw British Strong Style defeat the Recruitment Specialists in 8:17 when Tyler Bate pinned Alex Reynolds with the Tyler Driver 97. A 55. Wow, both Reynolds and Silver both off their game. I was thinking of turning them babyface, but yeah, apparently this mod It's not even this mod actually, so I don't think Red and Silver were in it. I'd maybe had to import them. But yeah, they're just 100% heels. So that turn may get cancelled. But we'll see how this storyline pays out. They don't necessarily need to turn babyface to get over in this storyline we've got playing out. So they'll lose here to British Strong Style, or Moustache Mountain, which leads to Sir Brody Lee basically saying to them, "Why are you such fucking failures? Why do you always lose? I gave you so much guidance. Anna Jay's taking it on. Darby Allin took it on before he basically turned his back on me. Uno and Grayson are doing okay. I wouldn't say brilliant, but they're still learning. But yous two, what the hell? Yous just take a couple of weeks off, gone from Dark Order. Don't speak to me, basically." So it leaves Reynolds and Silver a little bit confused, a wee bit upset. But what does this mean for the future of the Dark Order? Well, it's something we'll cover in the upcoming weeks. So 35, this segment here. We had our co-main event of the evening, which was about for the AEW Tag Team Championships, and had superb wrestling and great heat, as we saw the Lucha Bros, who obviously can now perform in both brands, defeated the EU in 1636 when Rey Fenix pinned Claudio with a Meteora. This was given them their third defence of the AEW Championships, only in 82, but that is because it was limited to 16 minutes. I was tempted to go over 20 minutes, but I thought 2 matches over 20 minutes is a bit iffy. I think Pentagon's injury's over in like a day anyway, but it just shows both teams with great chemistry, and it adds another layer to the storyline I'm going to have going with the EU. Because they go backstage, bump into their friend Austin Creed. Obviously they've had a wee bit of an alliance going recently, and Austin says, "This just isn't working, guys. We really need to try and get hold of this guy and bring him into AEW, and hopefully he can guide us in the right direction." And I think Miro and Claudio are just like, they need to get back in the winning column, because this is just not happening for them. So that'll be an interesting one going forward. Prince Devitt then says a few words about his ambush from Brian Cage. He obviously appreciates the help from Samoa Joe, but obviously know what Samoa Joe's wanting, a title opportunity. But he just basically says, "Time and place, I beat you, Cage, I'll beat you again. And Joe, we've had rivalries in the past. If you want an opportunity for this TNT Championship, then bring it on, fella." So an 81 promo for Prince Devitt. 67, just Pete Dunne cutting a few words on Kenny Omega, just saying he'd done what he had to do, he'd done it for the greater good of AEW to keep the championship on Cody Rhodes. And at the end of the day, he just doesn't like Kenny Omega, and that's basically it. A bad Brummy accent. But it just basically says, doesn't really care. He just wants to be his own man, and if it means he upsets Kenny Omega, he upsets Kenny. How will this main event do? I'm curious. It's a risk. I think they might give it an 80. Let's find out. Oh, that's not good at all. Superb matchup. Kenny does pick up the win over Pete Dunne in 2031 with a one-winged angel. 77. So probably our weakest Dynamite for a while. We took a risk. Kenny off his game. He had an 89 performance to Pete Dunne's 74. Obviously Pete's a long way to go in terms of overness. But yeah, not too strong. Kenny's inconsistency and the announced team's low experience were the negatives. But yeah. We still get an 81. We don't lose pop anywhere, which is good. The pop increases obviously places we're not as popular with, so I think that might be places in Mexico. But yeah, I thought without it being an overly great show, I feel like it's done a lot of things where it's propelled a few things going forward, it's carried on a few things from the event, and there's a lot of kind of like, this will play out over the upcoming weeks and months, so I'm happy with it. The problem is I'm trying to fit so much in a 2-hour show, and I don't want to go to 3 hours. Take note, WWE. So yeah, decent. Let's cut back to the main screen. Let's see if anything pops up here. Any contracts to pop up, as always seems to happen. There's a lot of hiring going there. So, Tenzan to re-sign with New Japan. Rhino could be leaving Impact. Dynamite, vast majority enjoyed the show. Pentagon fully fit. AEW heels didn't particularly go down well. Flamita has an exclusive written contract, and I would have signed him, but I literally signed him every save. Jamie Hayter is evolving into a regular wrestler, and Apollo Crews. To go for Apollo, I feel like we're signing everybody. He's really good though. I'll see if he's on my short list. That signs a new deal. So, just to give you an idea, there's some of the names that we're looking to bring in for the show. These are just like open handshake deals for like 1 or 2 appearances. So Tamatonga, Zack Sabre Jr., Yujihiro Takahashi, Rocky Romero, Robbie Eagles, Luke Gallows, and Ryo Mizunami. Obviously, these are the people that are either already with New Japan that we can bring in, or are free agents. We did put him in the short list. I'll do it off stream, but we'll look at him. WWE've offered him a contract anyway. That's what they all know about. Taz says Shayna Baszler's too small. She's retiring like literally the end of June. 3 months. 4th week of June. And a 2.96. So Dynamite is starting to get some good ratings, which is good. It's getting there. We actually, in one of our last shows, I've nearly got to go to WWE there, you'll see AEW Lightning, March 2022, our biggest TV rating ever. So that's good that Lightning is really producing. And Dynamite is going to get some ridiculous ratings when we can actually get some TV deals. So looking forward to that as well. But that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know who you think it is that the EU and Austin Creed are talking about. And let me know your dream matches for the AEW New Japan show. Remember, of course, the people that we are getting in and how you think that main event match will go. But as I say, 8 weeks to go to Double or Nothing, 4 weeks to the Tag Team Spectacular, and next week's Dynamite and Lightning, plus the next Lightning you'll see are a build up for the AEW New Japan show. Of course, only really one match will be confirmed before we go to that. So good day, good night, thank you for watching, stay safe, see you soon, bye bye.